Okay, now let's see how we can be able to create an inverted triangle pattern again. So over whenever we have a spaces, so take for example the light pink color. Now, so this we can be able to take it as a space, and these are all some of the things that we can take it as a star. Okay, that's how we are going to demonstrate. It is also a very simple program. Simply, so even if we have to have some spaces, right? So, we can't directly print a star over here. So that's why we need a space to be printed first, and then only we can be able to invert stars, and then we can be able to print it. Okay. So let's see how we can be able to do this. As usual, so we have two elements, right? So we are going to take this as I iteration and this as J iteration. That's how we are going to execute this. Let's see how we can be able to do that. So for loop. So for uh, I, right? I is equal to 0. And what I'm going to create is I is less than, sorry, it's I. I is less than N. And I'm going to have I plus plus. Okay. So apart from this, uh, yes, we will be using space, right? So system dot out dot print space has to be printed. And after that, for this, we need a for loop, and also for another for loop, we have to print a star, right? So star in the sense shaded one, we have to print it. So after printing this, we have to print all these things in the next line. So this is what is also one of the things that we need to take into consideration, right? Okay. So we have like J is equal to, okay, we, in the sense of star, because, like the spaces in the sense, it will be in a normal triangular manner. So we can take like J is equal to 0, J is less than I. It is enough because as we have already seen, so if we have needed the first element, so we need to have equals. If not, so we can use only without equals, we can be able to directly use that J plus plus. So this is how we can be able to implement. And for the second shaded one, so for that, it has to be colored, right? So one, two, three. So here three has to be there, and two has to be there here, and we should have only one here, right? So this is how it has to be there. Over here, what we are going to do is J is equal to what? N minus 1. So this we need to take into consideration. J is greater than or equal to I, and we are going to take like J minus minus. So for this, we will be printing it out. So this is what is the algorithm for this. Oh, okay. For this, let's implement the program. Integer I, comma j, comma n is equal to 5 as usual. And we are going to create a for loop, right? I is equal to 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus. Okay. So we are going to create this. So this is the total for loop we'll be having. And within this for space, we will be having one for loop. Okay, so let's print it like system dot out dot println. Print, right? Print is enough. So space should be there, right? So double space, we can leave it. And apart from that, for star, right? So for star, we need one more other space. So like we can print like system dot out dot print star. So with which we can be able to directly print it. Let's write down the logic for J operation, and before that, let's print a like system next line. So system dot out dot println. Okay, so next line we can be able to do here. That's it. Okay, let's write J's logic here. We know that for J now, so how our inverted triangle should actually look like. So take for example, this is in the sense, so which is in the next line, and this should be the actual output. So the spaces should be there, which is a normal triangle size, right? So this also we need to take into consideration. Over here, what we are going to do is we are going to print it. For that, we are going to use like j is equal to 0 and j is less than I, and we have j plus over. And then what we are going to do is we are going to fill this part as well. So for this, j is equal to n minus 1. J is greater than or equal to I. So we need to do that, and j minus minus. So this is one of the ways so through which we can be able to invert the triangle. Let's see the output. Right, so for each and every spaces, so we will be using the first j's iteration, and for a second one so what we will be using for those parts at all, we will be using general j is equal to n minus 1, so that this is how we can be able to directly print it. Finally, so we can be able to derive the logic